Hello everyone, this is Work Languages. 2023 started a while ago, and with it, the people started setting their resolutions for the year, hoping to have a more successful year than the last one. And many of them are related to language learning, which is great. Everyone should learn languages. However, many of them set an unrealistic goal which causes them to give up. On this video, we'll explain how to set realistic and achievable goals that you can work towards every day, one step at a time. When it comes to setting goals, you gotta think about what you want to achieve and when you want to achieve it. It's also important to consider your current level of proficiency, the difficulty of the language, and the resources you have available to you. The first step then is to decide what you want to achieve. You might want to be able to hold a basic conversation in your target language. You may want to achieve fluency. You may want to get a CEFR certificate on a concrete level, for example. As I said, you also gotta take into account your proficiency level, the difficulty of the language, and the resources you have available to you. For example, if you're just starting to learn Chinese, it's unrealistic to expect to get fluent in a couple of months or even years. Also, if you're studying a small language that doesn't have a lot of resources, you're gonna have to dedicate more time to it, to learn it. It's also important to mention that the language you speak play a crucial role in how fast you learn. If you're a Spanish speaker, you'll achieve fluency in Italian relatively fast. However, if you're trying to study Russian, it'll take a lot more time, and even more time if you're learning Arabic or Korean, since they're so different languages. Once you have in mind what you want to achieve, it's important to set specific and measurable goals. Instead of just saying, I want to learn French, set a specific goal, like I want to be able to understand and participate in everyday topics in French within the next 6 months. This will make it easier to measure your progress, and you'll be able to know when you have reached your goal. It's also important to set short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are those that you can achieve within some days or a couple of weeks or months. And long-term goals are those that will take several months or even years to achieve. For example, a short-term goal might be to learn 50 new words for the next week, and a long-term goal might be to achieve fluency within 2 years. By setting both short-term and long-term goals, you'll be able to stay motivated and focused on your language learning journey. I would recommend to set a short-term goal every 2 weeks or so and focus on that goal, not on the long-term one, but on the short one. Let's say you're a person wanting to start to learn English and you have a long-term goal of having a C1 and a short-term goal of learning 20 new words the next week. Focusing on the long-term goal could overwhelm you. You'd maybe think things like, am I doing enough progress? Am I going fast enough? That is too difficult. Can I even accomplish it? But learning 20 new words in the next 7 days is very plausible. That is something that you can easily do. And focusing on the short-term goal is a great way of keeping your motivation high and your desire. Remember that the journey to learn a language is long, so make sure you enjoy it and don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Also, remember to celebrate your accomplishments along the way. For example, if you had a short-term goal of learning 20 new words, celebrate it by watching a movie in your target language. That's a great reward. You're learning your target language, and at the same time you're doing something you enjoy, like watching a movie. Of course, it gotta be interesting. And with time, those short-term goals will build up and they will create huge progress. The last step is to have a plan to achieve the goals. just create your own language routine. For example, you can plan to study French 30 minutes every day, take a weekly class with a teacher, learn with a language learning app such as Link, or all of them. The possibilities are infinite. So just keep trying different approaches until you find what you like. To sum it up, setting goals is an essential part of any language learning journey. By setting specific and measurable goals, having a plan to achieve them, and being patient, you'll be able to stay motivated. Additionally, by setting short-term goals and being realistic, you can avoid the frustration and demotivation. Remember to celebrate your progress along the way and have fun learning. This is everything for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any language learning goals you want to share, then write it down in the comments. Also hit the like button and subscribe, it helps a lot, as you all know, and we'll see each other on the next video. Bye bye!